it started from a unsuccessful trip 10 years ago where we didn't see any tigers, and it was always on the bucket list to come back to Ranthambore. And we were glad to finally make it happen. And 10 years later, we're back to Ranthambore hoping for a different result.
Also, we were aware of Shashank, the trips because of Mohit's father. And he had come on actually the inaugural trip back in 2018 and had a good time, had success, which of course, we were hoping for the same. There's no guarantees when it comes to wildlife, but we felt confident that because of his experience, it was the same type of experience we were after.
I've been doing this for a while now, maybe 15-20 years. I have not come to Ranthambore in all this time. It's a beautiful forest. Of course, I loved Zone 5, the most picturesque part of the forest. The lakes, the fort, the setting is just brilliant, which makes it very distinctive compared to the other forests. Nice landscape for good sighting. And overall, it's been fantastic, and I can see why people keep coming back to Ranthambore. That the forest is certainly beautiful. Keeps calling us for more.
The landscape is the same as I saw, a few years ago in Ranthambore, but also this gives an opportunity to spot, wildlife easily this time around, because there is not much of greenery or bushes around, so it's all open. And it was easy. It's easy spotting wildlife in Ranthambore at this point. At this time around.
The best thing that I remember are the owl sightings. That's been the highlight for me for every trip possible. Whether I see a tiger or not, I see an owl, and I love them. So we had lovely sightings of owl on practically every safari we went, bar one. Just the last one we didn't see, but otherwise we saw owls all the time. The robin, we saw the golden orioles, the bulbuls, and we saw a few more, which right now is not on top of my head. And of course we saw the tiger, and we saw them in its full glory.
Rare sighting was a sloth bear, and so that was very exciting and special. And we actually got to hang out and observe for, several minutes. It wasn't a very quick chance encounter like you might expect with a sloth bear.
A lot of boars, wild boars, the sambars, nilgais, the spotted deers, the chinkaras. And yes, how could I forget the ruddy mongoose, our lucky talisman, and the monitor lizards. So yeah, it's been a fantastic 2.5 days.
Zone 4 afternoon, and we quickly reached the spot where one young adult was lying down next to the lake, and we stood there and didn't leave the ground, even though the others were trying to spot his siblings. But and there were these samba deers coming into the water from the other side, and this tiger was watching it very, very closely, and it took position for hunt, and we knew that it's going to happen at any time. And there were a couple of false calls, and then it really held its ground and was very patient. And suddenly, Shashank kept telling us, be ready, and we had the videos on, and suddenly it jumped into the water and started chasing. And then we saw, his sibling from the other side getting into the act, and, he also started chasing the deer. Finally, it was caught by the female that we were watching, and they both, I think they dragged it to the bushes, and, we saw from a distance they were devouring the, kill, yeah. It's amazing experience.
Yeah, it's still hard to believe that we were fortunate enough to experience it. The second sighting was, that one was very just amazing. First off, we were a solo Jeep, which I think is practically unheard of. Second off, we were with a sub-adult male, and he was laying in the middle of the road. So we just drove up and saw him laying there, and then we were able to observe and enjoy watching him for about an hour and a half, which is incredible. And we just were, our driver and guide were so patient and good. They gave him the space he needed so that we could keep following him, and he, would walk down the road towards us, and it was just, I felt like I was living in one of these documentaries you see. The stay was amazing. That also, I didn't know what to expect necessarily, but the property is beautiful. The service and the staff have been incredible.
Yeah.
The food's been very good. It's just been effortless from our perspective, and which is exactly what you want. Very comfortable, a very nice, calm, beautiful surrounding, so that when you're, having your rest, you can rest, and that's been amazing.
They make you feel welcome, like you're coming back home after a safari, and the staff here just does that, and they're very good at it. So it feels like you're almost like it's a second home after you're home.
Shashank had organized for the same guide, Narendra, for all our safaris. It helped because by the end of the first safari, he knew us, he knew what we were interested in, he knew what stories we wanted to hear. So we got a variety of stories over the 5 safaris that we went with him.
He knew exactly, what he had to do, and he was spot on, taking us to the right place at the right time, and, without him, we wouldn't have been able to spot these 2 tigers that we saw.
He also knew what we had seen and was on the lookout for something different, something new every time, and that really helped. We also had very good drivers on the trip. The drivers were also sort of mini guides of sorts, excellent trackers. Sometimes they had good sightings of birds, of the crocodiles in the lake, which when we were listening to the stories, or when Narendra was telling us a story, if he had missed something, these guys caught them. The tracking of the pug marks and everything was fantastic. I think the combination of the driver and guide with Shashank was really good. Overall, made the experience fantastic.
Your passion and your knowledge just speaks for itself. I think, for somebody like me who likes to absorb information, especially things I'm interested about, and wildlife is certainly something that interests me. To learn from you, I learned more from you, Shashank, in 3 days of game drives than I've done through all my research on Google. So I think just the extra tidbits and the information that you have through your experience makes this a even more incredible experience. So I would say it was fabulous.
The arrangements were fantastic, so I didn't have to bother about anything. Right from sending you a list as to what you need to carry, what you don't need to carry, what you should be prepared for. Everything was sent to us in advance, so that well in advance that we could pack right for the trip. They would collect the information on our arrivals, the details of the pickup, everything was given on time, and overall it's been a fantastic experience with Shashank, and I will definitely want to do more going forward with him. Maybe I might just come back to Ranthambore and other parks very soon.
was an amazing safari, guys. If you would like to in fact join us on our safari tours and expeditions, please do connect with us on the platforms mentioned below. And if you'd like to know more on India's wildlife and our protected areas, please do subscribe to our channel. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.